Ryan, let's start with. I want to get a bit more context before you started the program, because now we just finished working together for about 3 months, actually a bit more. You just
Mhm.
finished the 12 weeks program. Talk about your story before joining the program. What happened? What made you want to join? Where were you, etc.
So about like a year before I joined, I was playing for New York Red Bulls for about a year, and then about like 1 to 2 months in when I was playing, I got injured. I got a long-term injury in my hamstring, and then I was never really able to come back. I came back, and then I kept getting injured and injured again. So then they released me because I was never available, and then that's when I kind of realized, especially towards the end, like my confidence was just got like destroyed. Like I was like I had no confidence. I was always making mistakes. I would get mad, and then Cadiz noticed, and then he said, or the my coach noticed, and then he knew who you were, and then he asked if I should do stuff with you, and I knew that that was what I needed.
And it's actually it's very interesting because it's also something that happened to me, and we've talked about it. It's something that happened to me when I was a player, probably around your age as well. Injuries happen; it's part of the life of a footballer. We've talked about it, and what's important to know is that there's a way to come back from it, and that yes, it's difficult. It takes work, but it's possible. And a lot of players just give up after that happens, and that's credit to you for not giving up. And we'll talk about how you feel now, but yeah, that's something I wanted to mention as well. So I know you really enjoyed the last 2 weeks of the program,
Mhm.
the invisible training. I know you really enjoyed, but I want to take you back to the first 2 weeks, the mindset change part, where we talk about the self-awareness, the goal setting, so working around your identity as a footballer, your soccer identity. Talk
Mhm.
about that and kind of what it did for you, something that changed your mindset, or kind of give you clarity on what you want. Like, talk to us about that.
It's kind of like a wake up call almost. It's like to tell like you didn't like before, like I had no idea, like I knew I was missing something. It was actually like one of the biggest things was self-awareness, because it was like I knew like I had no confidence in the back of my head, but I was like, well, I didn't really think like why did I have no confidence and how do I fix it, and how do I kind of just thought like keep playing through it, and I'll just do well kind of. I never really thought like, well, why am I doing bad? And then it's kind of like a wake up call, like wow, this is actually like what was going on, and this is what I needed to do better. And it's
All right.
like once I realize that, it's like it's much easier to like deal with everything. And then it's like strategies. Then it's like, well, how do you like if this happens again, or how is your confidence low? Then how do you get it back up?
I like that you said that wake up call effect. That's very, very important, because sometimes when we are too much into it, it's
Mhm.
tough to get some distance and to see exactly what we are missing, but also what we are good at. And what I want you, what I want the players to do is to realize what they're good at, so they can become the best at it. And how did you feel if you had known that a couple of years back?
And I think I would still be on the team. I knew my confidence was bad, but like I never talked to anyone about it. I never like did anything about it. It was kind of just like before, just keep
Yeah.
going kind of. And I would look at my games, I remember, but it's like I wouldn't like I would look at the bad parts too, but I would hate looking at the bad parts too. It's like, oh, and then like the coach gets mad at me, and I remember like the exact feeling I was feeling. Like I was so nervous, like especially when I made a mistake, and then the coach is like screaming at me and stuff. And then I'm just thinking I don't want to get subbed out. Like I don't know what to do. I panic.
So you said you were nervous of looking at a game, doing game analysis, and looking at the bad things that you've done. How,
Yeah.
first of all, what would you do different now? And yeah, how does it feel now when you look at mistakes you make in a game?
I mean, it's not as like stressful. I think now I'm like, okay, well, what why did I do wrong? And it's like, okay, I'll just do better next time, or I'll write down why it happened. Like before, I just like if I made a mistake, I'm like, oh, I don't want to look at that kind of. It's like if I did well, I'm just like, oh, that's kind of cool. Let me like look at it again or something. But yeah, it was definitely like I would kind of look at it from like only my perspective. It's like, well, I remember I was so nervous in that situation and I panicked, and then I don't think about how like I panicked or why I panicked, or like what I could do to like not panic. But I kind of just thought like, oh, I panicked in that situation. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Last question, and then I'll let you go.
Mm.
If, uh, let's say, somebody around your age playing in a team is looking into doing the program, what would you tell that player?
Like, be focused on it, like, be committed to do it. Don't just, like, go through the movements and then keep going back to it, especially when you're done, because you probably think you know a lot right now. Like, if you were in the situation that I was in or something, then it's like it definitely changes like your perspective, and it's like it's good to know. So like I would just say like keep looking back at it and just really focus on like everything they say.
You're the man, Ryan. Thanks a lot. And that's it. You're done.
Mm.
Congrats.
All
Congrats
right.
on finishing the entire 12 weeks.